Hello and welcome to Science with Dr. J. This is a very different kind of product or idea that I have come up with. I have written about 9 science fiction stories, and as you know, publishing can take very long and extremely difficult, and it's not so easy. And so I decided to do my own publishing, but in a different way. Instead of publishing a book in PDF format or electronic format, and instead of doing an audiobook, I decided, why not make a video book? Meaning that I will sit here as I am right now, and I will tell you the story myself. Step by step, walk you through the whole story within 2 or 3 hours, not very long. And I will not just be talking, I will be supported, as you can see on the screen here, by images and animations, sound, and music, and of course my own explanations or views on how the story develops, and I'll just support that with these audio visuals. The reason I think this will work is because we are used to most of the time reading. In a book you only read. In audiobooks you read and hear, not necessarily the author, most of the time someone else. But in this format you get to read it, because I'll put some text on the screen when it's necessary. You get to hear it, because I'm telling you the story myself, and you get to see it, because you see the images and the simulations and the animations and the video clips and the sound effects and the music. But there's a fourth dimension, actually. You get to see the author himself telling you the story as it should be told, because I know it best. So it's an interesting experiment. I haven't seen it before myself, but I thought it could perhaps be a good idea to do it this way, and hopefully it will be successful, and hopefully you will enjoy it and you will like it. This has nothing to do with the other 40 episodes that I have on YouTube. It's just a bonus episode, and it's just a summary. It's not very long. It's only about 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, trailer, so to speak, to give you an idea about the format that I'm using, and about the story itself, and what I hope to accomplish. And hopefully you will like it and enjoy it as I do. So that's a myth of Gaia. Sometimes people say Gaia, sometimes they say Gaia, but the word comes from the Greek Geo. Geo means earth in Greek. That's where we get words like geology and geography and geometry and so on. So the myth of Gaia or Gaia, however you want to pronounce it, is a story about us, about our future. I really believe that we as a human society should, from now, start planning to be a two-planet species instead of a one-planet species. And the reason is there's a lot of danger from nature. Asteroid impacts, super volcanoes, nuclear wars, hopefully not, but you never know. Some crazy people may make it happen. And other natural calamities. If this happens, we will probably end up like the dinosaurs 65 million years ago, extinct. And Earth will be inherited by a different species and perhaps never again have intelligence. That would be sad. I would like to see us as human beings survive a natural calamity by having a backup. In other words, be able to live on two different planets so that if there is any danger in the future, at least the human race will not be extinct. But imagine what would happen, as I showed you in this short trailer, imagine what would happen to us as human society. Living on a different planet, rotating or orbiting a different star, and how life could be so entirely different and so amazingly different. But more interesting than that is my story is about how this may be in 50,000 years from now. Let me tell you what I think. Why 50,000 years? As a human species, we only appeared on the planet about 200,000 years ago in East Africa. And then from there spread all over the planet. But 12,000 years ago, there was no civilization. We lived in caves. Today, we have an international space station. We have reached as far as Pluto, 5 billion kilometers away from Earth. So we have accomplished unbelievable and incredible things within a very short period. And in fact, most of our biggest accomplishments only happened in the last 100 years. So progress happens very, very fast and in a geometric way. We are destined, I believe, to dominate not only planet Earth, but also other planets. But you know what? I hate the word dominate because I really think that it should be learning how to live with the natural world wherever we go, whether it's planet Earth or any other planet. We should learn how to adapt ourselves to the natural world and go with nature and not against it. And I believe that we have a tremendous opportunity in our hands, and the technology and the know-how today to plan so that perhaps in the next 50 years or so we can seriously start thinking about going to the stars. It would not be an impossible dream, just like 100 years ago people thought it would be simply impossible to even fly, never mind going to the moon, and look at us now. So I believe it's possible. And I believe that using science and technology and reason and understanding and cooperation, putting our petty differences behind us and cooperating as a human society, thinking of ourselves as a species that has to survive on this only planet that we have today, is this one. And if we screw it up, And if we don't do things wisely among ourselves, we will not survive. We'll just become extinct like the dinosaurs. So anyway, that's the philosophy behind my story. And of course there's a lot more, because there's adventure, there's excitement, there is tension, there is romance, and there's travel between the stars, and there's conflict for sure. But I have avoided war and killing. There's already enough of that. We don't need that. I wanted to show a more positive future where, yes, sure enough, there will be conflict, there will be differences in opinion, there will be different philosophies, but we don't have to resolve that by war. We can resolve it by understanding and dialogue and cooperation. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoy my book, my video book, as I like to call it, or video novel. And please tune in again for future productions. Thank you very much. Bye-bye for now.